Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. In this video, I'd like to talk about what I call the game of duality. Now, when I look at the game of duality, or just duality, it's like a plane of existence that we can reside within. And sadly, that plane of existence that we've kind of existed within, and again, we could use a number of different names like, dimension or reality or realm, but we're just going to call it a plane of existence. And it's within a spectrum of frequency, this game of duality or duality energies. And it's been an area that humanity has sat within for quite some time. And a number of things come out of this energy, such as conflict. And that's why we kind of see the world that we see at this point in time. Not only because we are just a participant in that reality, which I believe we're not a participant into that one reality. We're all creators of our own reality, and we can all be programmed in a way that we see the same reality, because we've all been through the same programming from the day we were born into this life. And I like to call that game of duality. And so I created a chart, within my healing system called the Game of Duality Process Chart, and it was essentially a kind of like a timeline of the cascade of effects of how we kind of got hoodwinked or booby trapped into this thing we call the Game of Duality. And I want to share it with you in this video because I think it's very simple but very important, because there's so much of us when we are tackling a health problem, or maybe it's just an aspect of feeling like nothing goes right for me, bad luck, being a victim of reality and victim of the world, and is we need to bring everything back to self. We can't point fingers externally out to everybody else, because we need to restore the correct perception of reality. And the only way we can restore the correct perception of reality is by connecting to our true identity, our own true identity. Because as I say, the part of this game of duality process is we've been programmed all our life, and that programming has removed ourselves more and more away from our true self, our true identity. So we can't make choices and decisions when we don't know self, essentially. So, and that's where you'll hear people, you need to go within, right? Because the answers are found within, right? Because everything that's happening within you is then reflected out into this external world, because we're creators. We're not participants in one reality. We're all creating our reality, and we all have a path in the journey that we all take in our own way, in our own pace, and it's going to be a different perception as well, because that's the thing that's uniqueness about us. And part of that programming is to think that our true identity is as human, okay, when really that's not our true identity. If that was our true identity, all of us, that we're just human, right, and we all have the same organs and everything else, then all the treatment options that we provide, let's say, for example, in health, should work for everybody, but it doesn't. And that's because we're all uniquely different, even though on the physical level it may not seem that way, because we've all got the same anatomy and physiology for the most part. But the expression of us here is beyond human. It's back to where we originally come from, as an infinite consciousness. And that infinite consciousness of each one of us is connected to a unique source of energy that is unique to you, not to a collective, not to a bunch of us, but to us individually. Okay, so it's a very important aspect that we need to, everybody that's in the awakened movement understands this concept that we need to remove all the programming that's kind of been told all our life, of what we should, how we need to be successful in this world, who should we be, how we need to, going to school and all these sorts of things. We eventually get out after school and try and figure out what am I going to do with the rest of my life. And for a lot of people, they don't know. And they keep searching out there externally, looking for that answer that they'll never find. Because the answers are within self. That's where the answers need to be found. So anyway, let's go to this game of duality process chart. And there's 4 aspects, these 4 steps. And the first step is what I like to call distraction. Okay, and distraction is connected to where we place our attention. And you would have heard me so many times in so many videos mentioning this aspect of how important it is where we place our attention. Probably the most important. Because where we place our attention, we immediately consent to use our energy to create that thing that we place our attention on. So we want to choose well. We want to be very conscious when we are placing our attention somewhere, because the majority of people are not consciously doing that. One, they're not consciously aware how important it is where they place their attention, because their energy is going to go to that to create more of it. But just an awareness or a consciousness to know the importance of being consciously aware wherever we are placing our attention. So you'll see media out there. Media have got such a pivotal job, because they are throwing, whether that's social media, whether that's mainstream media, turning on your TV or the news or whatever, it's, we live in a very overstimulated reality. There's information coming from right, left, and centre. Even you're in your awakened process, you can become overstimulated, and sometimes I really question that maybe we're reading too much. Maybe we are going to too many sources of information. The number one source of information that we should be connecting to is what's coming through within ourselves. Okay, and that easily gets forgotten. Because even the awakened movement, we can get lost as well at the same time. We feel like we awaken, but we start to create different values and beliefs, and then we look for sources of information to validate that, whether that's right or wrong, because we want to connect it with how we feel at the time. And, when you're getting information or sources of information from other people, you really need to embody or sit within that and ask yourself, does that feel right to me? Does that make me feel more at ease or feel more unease? And that is the biggest measure in consciousness work. And not only consciousness work, just everything. Science has really taken us in a direction where we've been so mind-orientated that we've got to look at everything very cerebrally and very analytically. But really, when it comes down to it, everything starts off through a feeling, okay, which is something that's not physically seen. For example, disease. If we break the word dis-ease down, it's a matter of feeling at unease or unrest when we get the mind chatter, which creates illness as well, right? Mental illness. It's a feeling we get first, and then we materialize it into something we see in this reality. Okay, because we're creators. Okay, so everything starts off with feeling first, and this is the biggest thing. And a lot of people will come up to me and say, "What do you think? Do you think this is the right thing?" And I'll throw it back to them, and I'll go, "Well, what? Go back to that measure. Does it make you feel more at ease or make you feel more uneasy? Simple as that." Okay, because more unease is going to create more fear, and that's going to create more degeneration. Okay, so more illness. Okay, more confusion. And if you feel more at ease with self, because you're the pivotal aspect, then all of a sudden you're going to bring more loving energy in through you. Okay? You're going to feel more certain about what you're doing. You're going to feel more connected with who you are too. Okay? So that's an important measure to have. So when we come back to this first aspect of gamma duality process, distraction, is this, as I say, overstimulation from all these sources of information trying to grab your attention. Okay? So, and when they grab your attention, your mind starts to wander, and then you start to disconnect from self. Okay, because as I say, the number one source of information that you should be dialing into is the information that comes through you, through intuition. And that's not necessarily what you're going to see, it's going to be based on how you feel. Because something that you may see come into your reality, but again, how is it making you feel? Okay, and that comes to the next aspect of the gamma duality is reaction. So we get that thing that comes into our life. That might be a challenge in our life. There's still going to be challenges in our life, okay? Because we have challenges in our life because it's something to learn from, okay? So, and that's where I think a lot of the times people, when they get into victimhood or the belief that everything's against them in their life, is they don't understand that concept that we're all going to have challenges. It doesn't matter who we are, but those challenges are there for something to learn from, which can be a very positive thing. And this next method is when we have that thing or that place of potential or that thing that comes into our reality, that might be just something you're watching on the news or something that is actually right in front of your nose. Your reaction is so important, okay? Because the way that we react to that, we either leak out our own energy, or we hold on to our energy, or we charge onto our own energy through how we respond. The challenge or the thing that comes into your life is not the problem, it's the reaction, which is a choice when you really think about that. Okay? And why it's a choice is because to empower you to realize how important and how much choice you actually have in turning your life around or making your life a better place, creating more, manifesting more. Okay, so we need to have awareness. We need to be very consciously aware when we respond and react, right? So this is where, again, consciousness comes into it. Okay? When we have a greater connection to self, we're going to respond in a lot better way. And how often, and how do we respond usually as the human? Emotionally. So when we're more connected through that heart space, connected more consciously, we're not going to suppress emotion. We're still going to express emotion, but we're going to do it in a controlled manner that we hold on to our energy. We do not leak our energy by not being aware or not consciously aware of our expression through that response or reaction. Okay? We choose our words very correctly because, again, words are not there just to describe how you feel now. Words that can be used to describe how you want to feel. Because certain words really feel heavy, don't they? They just they lower your vibration down. And some words are very uplifting. Okay? Because in the now, you've got the choice of how your future wants to be. It's the stepping stones of your future. So if you want your future to be better than what it is currently, well, you're going to choose words to get you there, right? So the next step, so first step, distraction or where your place of attention's going, and then responding and reacting to that, okay? The next step is intention. And as I've said so many times before, our powers are what? Attention and intention. And our power of attention is more important than intention because where we place our attention will immediately affect where you intend from and how you use your intention. Okay? So again, place of attention's gone somewhere, whether that's something that's grabbed your attention or your place of attention's on something that you want to create. Okay, you've chosen where you want to place your attention. Something out here hasn't grabbed it and pulled it away from you, and all of a sudden your mind is wandering towards it. You're consciously aware where you're placing your attention. You choose where you want to place your attention. Okay, because whatever you bring into your awareness is going to become part of how your life is going to be created. That's how it is. And if you don't bring something into the awareness of your life, then it will never be part of your reality. Okay, because you're a creative reality. So when I say this next step of intention, and attention has an effect, and also how you react, which is stage 2, will affect your intention, is because if you are challenged and you respond and react in a way that's not very aware or conscious, you are going to start to use your intention in a sabotaging way, okay, where you're going to leak out your energy. And you're going to also do it from the mind, which is where we create out of fear, which lowers our vibration. And all of a sudden that will materialize as the reality that you're creating in front of you. Okay? Where if we're aware and conscious of where we're placing our attention, even though there's all this distraction, this circus going on out here, and therefore we respond and react in a very aware, controlled manner, we can then use our intention from our heart instead of our mind, so with love instead of fear, and we can use words that are very uplifting, not only to the person you're conversing with, so it's going to lift their energy up, in the same time it's going to lift your energy up, and you're not going to leak any energy. Okay? It's going to have an effect on the reality that you're leading. Because when you change you and the way that you see life, then that reality will change accordingly to that. So that's step 1, distraction or place of attention. 2, response, reaction. Step 3, intention, how you use your intention. Now the 4th step is then the byproduct of those 3 steps. And if we've been distracted, okay, and again, as I say, this is connected, and this is the aspect of what duality would do, right? Neutrality is to rise above that distraction out here, and you being aware and consciously you're choosing where you place your attention to create the life you want, not being told you want. And therefore you have control, and you're aware and conscious about the way you're responding and reacting in a way that you don't leak energy, you charge your energy and hold your energy. And then you use your intention from the heart with love, not the mind with fear, with very powerful, profound words and intention. Now that's neutrality. That's rising above this energy that humanity has been in for such a long time, where it's just been so conflictive, okay? Where humanity's been trying to sort out duality problems with duality solutions and not getting anywhere. We need to rise above it. But to do that, we need to understand the reality we're living in, and we need to know this process, which I'm talking about in this video. Now that's neutrality. Now with duality would be, we get drawn by all this distraction, that's so many sources of information being drawn and distracted to, which is not a source of information that's coming from within, it's coming from out here. And then you respond and react in a way that's not aware and not conscious. And then you start to intend from the mind out of fear, right? Which pulls you away and disconnects from self more and more. And the byproduct, or the end product of that, which is again stage 4, step 4, is fear. Okay? And then you start to reside within and live your reality, sustaining from the energy of fear and evolving with the energy of fear. And fear creates degeneration when it comes to what we call illness and dis-ease. It will make you also feel like the world is out to get me. You'll see yourself as only one brick in the wall in regards to this reality. So straight away, it makes you feel vulnerable. You're in a space of vulnerability. Okay? And that's one thing about if we see ourselves as a participant of this reality, one brick in the wall, it makes you look that small. You're one little human amongst 7 or 8 billion humans on this planet, on a rock that goes around the sun, of one star that's billions of stars, and then one galaxy of a billion galaxies. How does that make you feel? That makes you feel so small and meaningless. No wonder we have so many people out there that just cannot find purpose or passion in their life. Right? All right? But then when we start to see ourselves as the pivotal aspect of our reality, not a participant of reality, we're a creator of our own reality. And we all individually need to take responsibility of that we're all creators of our own reality. And the key aspect of all of this is that we need to find out who we truly are. Okay? Peel off the programming that this reality is trying to tell you who you are and how to act, and find out exactly who you are. Then you restore your own perception of reality. You see more beauty within self, so therefore you'll see a world in front of you that has more beauty in it. Okay? It's complete reflection of what's within. And then once you do that, then out of these 3 steps of what I call the game of duality, you avoid the booby traps of that. You start to play the game of neutrality where you rise above that. And what results out of that is not fear, is love. And that's the energy that we evolve on, our infinite consciousness aspect of ourselves. Because there's a universal law, and that universal law is that consciousness must evolve. And the energy that evolves us is this energy that we label. Again, the humanistic aspect of ourselves loves to label things with word. Consciousness doesn't care about labels. It cares about what things feel like. And that's why I say the ultimate measure is, does that feel right to you? Do you feel more at ease? That is going to be a great indicator of you're doing the right thing or you're not. Does it feel at ease, or does it make you feel more at unease and more unrest, where the mind is just ticking over, and ticking over, and ticking over? Okay, and the mind gets away from you. Okay, the mind is there to limit you. Sacred heart space, where your higher aspects of yourself, your soul, resides within. It's expanding. It's creating a reality, an existence that has no boundary, has no limits to it. And when you have that connection, you realize that you're a creator. You have everything. You've always had everything. Everything has always been within you. So I hope everybody's really enjoyed this video. And this is a chart I use within my healing system. These four aspects, where distraction, again, this is connected to duality, where you get distracted. But if it's neutrality, that'd be where you're placing your attention on something that you want to create, because you are a creator. Okay? You don't need to know everything about what's going on all over the world. Okay? Because if there was no one reporting that, or no TV, you wouldn't know that anyway. Okay? If everybody focused on using their unique gifts to be a creator, not a participant, this overall reality that we'd see would transform to such a beautiful place. Okay? And then how you respond and react to that thing that then now you place your attention on. And then how you use your intention, because that's how you're going to then create, right? Create your reality. And then what's the sum of all of that if you do it through neutrality? The energy that evolves you even further. Love, not fear. Fear is your biggest obstruction and blockage of your life. And you've got control of that in your own palm. You just need to understand that. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please comment below. Please share this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Till next time. Bye.